Cabinet Otter in my editing form just to give you a quick heads up. This is a continuation of my conversation with musician Anthony Siino. The full interview is a full episode of You Otter Know on metal, which you should definitely check out, but I also wanted to share with y'all what Anthony had to tell us about his ongoing series of Christmas projects featuring the delightful Grinch. If you haven't watched the main episode, definitely go watch that first since it'll give you more context on who Anthony is and where this project fits into his overall creative mindset. We've included a few clips of the performances in question in this video, and we'll also include links in the description of where you can watch them in full. Thank you, and please enjoy. We're almost out of time, so I do want to ask you though, can you tell us about the Grinch plays?
So, very short. Brett Tentacult is part of the Red Museum, which is an all-ages artist collective / venue in Sacramento. And it's a place for artists rent out time slots. We store all our gear there. We make our big creative projects, whether musicians or painters or whatever, right? Mostly musicians right now. And we do shows. And it's a very cult, like everything we do there is very like curated and interdisciplinary. And so we were in 2018, I think, we were doing a Christmas show, and it was live bands. We were having a great Sacramento historian, William Berg, dress up as like trashy Santa and read Bukowski and Burroughs and other like nasty Christmas stories. The second year we had a great performer, Kylie Jackson, who helped us with the third one. She had a man in a gimp suit as our one-horse sleigh. He was chained to the rickshaw, right? That kind of stuff.
Beautiful.
So we were putting together this interdisciplinary 3 bands playing kind of show, but also with all these different art pieces and all these different experiences, kind of like almost a carnival atmosphere. And we were joking about doing a Christmas play. And I just love the Grinch. He kicks ass. I have a lot of political beliefs about the Grinch. In short, I believe that the story of the Grinch is it's about the nature of the state, it's about the relationship between the anarchist or the revolutionary and the state, and how that the revolutionary must exist to reify the power of the state. It's about the great failure of the one. I got a lot of opinions about the Grinch, right? The failed revolutionary being subsumed by the state as a means of reifying the purpose and goal of the state, so on, so on, so on. Who cares? We are putting together this multidisciplinary Christmas show at the Red Museum, this all-ages thing, kind of like something for people who maybe don't want to be with their families over Christmas or can't or whatever. And not exactly an anti-Christmas, but a Christmas of our own. And I don't remember who pitched the idea, but the idea was like how funny it would be to have like a elementary school Christmas play. And so it was kicked around, and I said, hey, well, why not? And so I started trying to write it. And despite having been a professional writer for almost 10 years, I couldn't write it. So I brought in my boy, Devin McMines, who in no time at all, I was the ideas guy. I charted out the beats. I was like, this is going to be the shape of the prologue, the epilogue, each of the 3 acts. These are the things we need to accomplish. These are going to be our players. Here are 1 or 2 lines. And so as we were figuring it out, we decided to do it all in verse. And what I did was I wrote about half of a script, trying to do it in verse, but just focusing on one very important thing in any creative endeavor that is not, live, that is not created stream of consciousness, is it can get really easy to hang yourself up on like, oh, I just wrote that and it doesn't feel right, whatever. Like the most important thing is finish the thing and then go back, because you don't know what it is until it's done. So I was trying to do that. I was getting too bad. And so I was just like, Devin, you got to write this thing. I'll handle everything else, the logistics, getting the costumes together, directing the thing, organizing our players, but write the thing. And he said, well, okay. And so I wrote out half a script to pave the way for him. And when he needed something, I would write some more. And what I wrote was so bad that I think only 1 word of what I wrote survived. correctly so. And what he wrote was just absolutely brilliant. Again, there's if you Google "How the Grinch Stole Christ" on YouTube, you can find the performance of it.
Here you are, villain, thou hoary green puke. Now up on your feet and put up your dukes. Return to us quickly, the infant you thieved, and skip all your tricks. We're already quite peeved.
Sirs, it's alarming you're so set on harming an innocent Grinch such as I. A child I thieve, what a thing to conceive. I've only reclaimed what is mine.
Your words that you mangle like children you strangle will not help you here to deceive. Give us Jesus now, and surely we vow that quickly in peace we shall leave.
You speak of this child with such fevered respect, one would think he was one of your own. There are certain details you choose to neglect. All the same, he belongs on a throne.
Speak out no further, you heathenous thing. I'll send you to hell with my magical ring. Bah!
The truth can never be silenced by magic. Your plight is becoming increasingly tragic.
Shut up your riddles, stop making a scene. Tell us once and for all what exactly you mean.
You think that Mary came to be with child from on high? Think again, foolish men. 'Twas the Grinch, 'twas me, 'twas I. All it takes is once.
Once we had the script, I, by virtue of going to a lot of shows, having a lot of artistic friends, I was able to just and non-artistic friends, I was able to very quickly be like, okay, I know I don't know what I'm doing, but I was in a play in high school. I kind of have a sense of blocking and pacing and performance. Not a great one, but enough to do a stupid 15-minute play. And if you don't, believe me, you do. And so I was just able to say, okay, for my Grinch, I want you. For Mary, I want you. And just kind of go to the people I knew who I could work with, who knew me well enough to know that, hey, I'm going to yell at you a lot because we have like no time. So I'm going to be barking, and it's going to be, not abusive, but abrasive. It's going to be, hey, redo that, but I need an inflection like this or whatever. And so we got people together, and people who wanted to be there, who weren't there for any other reason other than, what do you mean you're doing about a story about the Grinch in family court? If I could give you that pitch and you didn't immediately like get a little bit of light in your eyes, well then that you're not the person, right?
This is not for you. Yeah.
Right. Because you don't have, especially when you're just like from the ground up, nobody has any idea what they're doing. You need to just like have confidence, and you need to just grab whoever is there because they want to be, because you're asking so much of people. And I made it really clear, like, hey, you can take your script on stage. Whatever you need, I'm going to give it to you.
Mm.
But here is what you have to do.
Mm.
And this is like, these are the one or two spots where we can't compromise, and this is why I brought you on. This is how you fit in. And so that was my task, to envision it, to take the words and figure out how to get everybody spaced and get everybody in the room. We only had like 3 rehearsals, and not all of them had everybody there. I think we only had one with everybody there. We had press at one of them. It was a pretty electric atmosphere, but it was only because we had a great script, and because we had a lot of buy-in, where like they knew they were only going to get paid $10, but they knew I was going to give them $10. That like I was going to recognize that they gave me a lot of something there, and so I was going to buy them tecates and pizza, and I was going to give them $10. Nobody cares about $10.
I think they wanted to be.
They do care about tecate and pizza.
I think they wanted to be a part of it, right? It wasn't the monetary incentive. It was, I get to be a part of this crazy thing that was a spark of an idea, and a bunch of cool people are going to bring it to life together. I think that's pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, we did the Grinch play, and it got people to laugh, and much more importantly, we had fun. We were happy with what we did. I think it was pretty funny. And so, comes around next year, and we're like, let's start writing another play. And Devin was like, can we not do the Grinch again? And I said, Devin, I looked him in the eye and I said, the horse rides until it dies. And so we came up with an idea about the Grinch. Santa has decided that putting together the naughty list is too much work. This allows for one of the elves to suggest to Santa that he knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows how to gather data from the internet to tell us whether or not these kids are naughty or not. And it actually started from a script about kids rebelling against this system, and it eventually ending in like the financial collapse of the world, because the naughty list being instituted by the Grinch, who is this guy who's the known guy across the chain, comes in and decrees all children evil, and the program automates all of the coal to be bought that would be needed to distribute to naughty children, which then takes all the coal supply out of the world, which then makes the Grinch like the energy king, which leads to the economic collapse of the world. That was not the script we ended up going with, because it's just a little too much for a 15-minute play. But it did end up being about the Grinch installing the Naughtitron 5000 in the North Pole, and having to it culminates in Santa Claus pulling a katana on the Grinch. That was a pretty good one. There's no video of that one, unfortunately.
That's very unfortunate because it sounds fantastic.
Yeah, and it was nice. It was equally well received. And then the year after that was 2020, and that was when we had the pandemic. And we were uncertain what we were going to do. It was really tough. And I was asking Devin, what the hell are we going to do? And he said, a wise man once said to me, the horse rides until it dies. So we got together with Kylie Jackson, who's now in Portland, and a few other folks, and did an audio play that with an assist from Stu Parkhurst. Stu, as a video editor, put together an entire thing for us. It was an audio play about the Grinch, a lonely single father, going on to a dating show hosted by Santa Claus, and very quickly realizing that the stakes are much higher than he ever could have anticipated.
Our man tonight may be as cuddly as a cactus with a soul full of garlic, but hey, some people are into that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Grinch! Do you have any opening comments for us, sir?
I thought I was gonna be on The Price is Right.
Ho-ho! That's the Russian version of our show. Now let's meet our lovely contestants for the evening. As we all know, they'll remain hidden behind the wall of chastity until one of them wins, but we'll tell you just enough about them to make it interesting.
I hope you enjoyed learning about how the Grinch stole Christ and the related projects as much as I did. Check out the links below and in the main interview description to learn more about Anthony and buy Tentacle's album when it's available later this summer. Thanks for watching! Hey, it's me, Cabinet Otter. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more, or come hang out with me live on Twitch. See you soon!